god, that's so good. That's exactly what I needed for today's very fall video. I just can't get over this weather. It's absolutely breathtaking. It is such a rainy, gloomy day here in Washington. Of course, it's feeling and I'm just waiting for a werewolf pack to come bounding out of the forest. So let's make a fall TBR list. Plus, I have a pretty fun book haul. It's 2 books long. And also an update on Tomato's little nook in my library. I just redid my bookshelf. What I don't want to do is take everything back out. The way I organized it, everything's just kind of crammed in there. What I'm thinking we're gonna do is window shop my library, look at it with a notebook and a pen, and make a list of all of the books that I think I will want to read during the fall season. And then from that list, we can kind of create a priority list that I actually realistically think I can read in fall. Okay, so I made my list. It looks really, really bad, but I'm just gonna highlight the ones I think I will actually want to read in fall. First things first would be The Hobbit. I'm about halfway through The Hobbit and I would love to finish that during the fall season. I have about, I think like 100 pages left in it. So realistically, I can definitely do that. Then next up is The Muse. This is the book I found in my All the Fall Vibes video. I love it. I think it looks so cool. The only thing is, I'm pretty sure it's historical fiction and I don't really vibe with historical fiction, so I'm kind of worried about that. Like, I think it's a cute idea. I think it would look good in a video. It's just cute and aesthetic. But realistically, I don't think I want to read it during fall. It could also be a spring book, possibly, so I don't really know. The Lies That Bind. This book is giving murder mystery in a library slash bookstore. So yeah, that's gonna be for fall. Then A Quiche Before Dying. The cover, because of the skull, makes me want to say fall time, but then at the same time, it kind of makes me want to say spring because it's made out of flowers. I think we're gonna leave that one as a maybe. I'll put a little orange dot next to it for right now, and we'll come back to it at the end and see how many books because I got a long list. A Fatal Chapter. Okay, this one I think is gonna be the same as the one I just said, where it could be spring and summer or it could be fall because of the murder mystery aspect. I don't know if I want to include it because I have so many other books I want to get to, so I'm gonna put an orange dot next to that one too. Oh, Picture of Dorian Gray, that's getting highlighted. There's like one hair that is misbehaving. I just pulled it out of my head. Picture of Dorian Gray. I started it. I think I read 1 chapter of it, but I want to annotate it and like really, really take my time with it. I feel like every single word out of that book is quotable. It's so good. I think I was highlighting like every single freaking line in that book. So that is definitely one that fits the fall vibe. That is getting added to the TBR. House of the Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne. The cover alone makes me want to say that it should be a part of the fall TBR. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it. It's giving spooky, it's giving funky, it's giving fresh. Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves, I'm gonna add those for sure because you're gonna notice as we go through this TBR that I am living my fantasy life right now. I don't know why, all I've been wanting to read is like fantasy, high stakes, romance, dragons, a castle, princess. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for it. So, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is hard for me because it's a book I've been avoiding for probably 2 years now. At this point, I don't know why I'm avoiding it. I think I want it to be this huge ordeal and be so incredible that it blows my mind. And I've been trying to lower my expectations, and now I think they're so low I don't even want to read it, which is not good. I know that, but at the same time, it kind of looks long. The words are really, really small, so I'm afraid it's gonna take me a long time to get through it, but then at the same time, I could fly through it if I'm really vibing with the writing and stuff. I did start it. I'm probably like 30 pages in. I'm gonna put a dot next to it. We'll decide. I just don't freaking know. Jane Eyre. I've heard that that is like a fall read essential, but I don't know if that's true. But I think I'm gonna add it anyway. I've had this book since high school. When I graduated, I'm gonna freaking read this book this fall if it's the last thing I do. Next up I have Wicked, which I think I'm gonna add because it's freaking, she's a witch, bro. Her sister was a witch. I'm adding it to my TBR. Oh my gosh, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I really feel like I have to be in the right headspace to read that book, and I just don't know if I will ever be in the right headspace to read that book. I'm gonna highlight it. I feel like it's so aesthetic and it's so beautiful that like I want to read it, and I'm romanticizing reading it more than I actually want to read it, which I realize is not a great thing. The Dead Romantics, I said in my bookshelf video that I was going to wait until fall to read that book, and I don't even really want to read it. So I think I'm gonna add it because it's a short romance. There's ghosts. I think I could blaze through that book. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have the first book in that series. I'm gonna add it. I've heard people blaze through that book as well and that they really enjoy the entire series. So now we're moving on to books that I have strictly on my Kindle Unlimited. I went through and I picked a few that I thought would be ideal. First up is Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I don't know why I'm thinking this is a fall read. I've been meaning to read Franz Kafka. I think it's spooky or like weird. I don't know. I'm gonna put a dot by it. Divine Rivals. Oh my god, I've heard so many incredible things about this book. Plus, Kimmy is the first person that told me about this book, and we were supposed to buddy read it, but life got ahead of us. I got a job. She is moving across the country. So, of course, that kind of put that on hold for us. So I'm actually gonna text her and see if she's still reading it, because I don't really want to read it without her. So I'm gonna highlight it. Oh my gosh, Dead Poet Society. The issue is I only have it on Kindle, and I really want a physical version of that book. I have not watched the movie. I'm waiting to watch the movie until I read the book. Do you see the problem? I really want to read it. I'm just gonna highlight it. If I can find a physical version of it, amazing. If I can't, that's okay. I can just annotate in Kindle, which is not my favorite thing, but that's fine. A Psalm for the Wild Built is a book that Kimmy introduced me to. I read it all in literally one night. I stayed up until like 3 a.m. I started it at like 10. It's like one of her favorite books of all time, if not her favorite. I have to say it's in my top 3 or 5 as well. I would love to reread it, not in one sitting, and be able to go through it and really just appreciate every single thing that that book is. I'm highlighting it. I've never reread a book in my life, but I think that is the book that is gonna be my first. The Hanging City. I read another book by this author and absolutely fell in love with it. I started the second one, which, if you're new here, that is a theme. I really have a hard time reading second books in series. It's like my curse. I like fall in love with the first book and absolutely can't stand or get into the second book in a series. It puts me in reading slumps, to be honest. The Hanging City is an entirely different world for this author. It's like a whole other project, and it looked so good. It just came out. I'm gonna add it. I genuinely don't even know what it's about. The House Witch. Just the cover alone is screaming fall and autumnal spooky season vibes, and it's a whole series. There's 3 books in this series, so I'm really hoping I can read them all. I feel like that could be a fun fall cozy read. A Batter of Life and Death. I read the first book by this author in this little cozy mystery series. I have been looking for the other books in this series because you can, I'm pretty sure, read them out of order, but I haven't found them anywhere. When I was doing this search through Kindle Unlimited, I was like, oh my god, let me look up this author, and this is the only book that she has on Kindle Unlimited. So I added it because it's a cozy mystery. It's so easy to read. I'll read it in like a day. It's fine. Oh my gosh, The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I have just seen this cover all over. I've been thinking about reading it, never decided to read it though. That wasn't on the agenda. But I've been binging Katie is Reading so much. It's pretty embarrassing. I watched one of her reading vlogs where she read it, and I skipped over all of the parts where she talked about it because I didn't want to be like spoiled about anything, even just like what was gonna happen generally. I was like, don't tell me. Literally don't tell me. I just want to find out on my own. All I know is she liked it. That's all I know. And I want to read it. I'm pretty sure the entire series is on Kindle Unlimited. All of the books that are highlighted are books that I want to read this fall. Is this a very romanticized idea that I had in my head? Absolutely. What am I doing? Just a quick flash through of all the books I just said. We've got The Hobbit, The Life of Brian, House of the Seven, Fables, Thieves, About Thieves, Jane Eyre, Wicked, Secret History, Secret History, Murder, Divine Rivals, Death by Song of the Wild, The Handmaid's Tale, House of possibly the other 2 books in the series, The Battle of the Insect. So that's like 20 to 22 books that I would like to read. I feel like I can do, if I'm including like September to November, I think I can read 22 books in that time frame. I don't know how many books I've read this year. Oh my God. I didn't even add my high fantasy books I've just gotten. Oh no. I guess this is a good transition to my book haul. Let me go get those books. I forgot to add a book that I don't physically have because I'm only looking at what I have in my bookshelf and what I have on Kindle Unlimited. But there's one book I want to dedicate an entire video to. We'll get to that. Here's my book haul. I got this book called Wolf's Head and Wolf's Heart. I got this book clearly because of the cover. I love wolves. It seemed so autumnal with like the fall leaves in the background. This woman is stunning. The colors are fall vibes. I read the back, immediately was captivated. And I started it last night and I am 70 pages in. It's so good. I looked this up on Goodreads. People had thoughts. Putting it plainly, some were good, some were really bad. So I stopped reading the reviews. This is like a 6-book series. I don't know if I'm gonna read all 6. I know I'm gonna read this. It's like 700 pages, and that's all I really have to say about it. Next up, I got Mistborn. I saw people saying this was Brandon Sanderson's like the best gateway to reading his stuff. I went to a bookstore where I got Wolf's Head and Wolf's Heart. I was just looking around for a specific book, and I saw this, and it was like $4. I got Mistborn because I would love to start reading Brandon Sanderson and just see if his writing style is something that I would vibe with, because I know in the fantasy world, he's like a really big author that people love. The book I was searching for, the book I'm going to dedicate an entire video for, is The Fourth Wing. I love dragons, I love fantasy, I love romance, I love young adult, Divergent, Hunger Games vibe. And all I've been hearing is Fourth Wing is all of those things. The issue is, it's $30. Went into this bookstore because I was like, do you have Fourth Wing? And the woman there is so sweet. I can't even tell you about that whole story, but she didn't have it. That was totally cool. I went to Walmart and they had it there. I held it in my hands. I flipped through it. I was this close to buying it. And then the thought passed through my head of Taylor. Trevor is gonna be like, that's a lot of books in one day, babe. I just bought 5 books and then I found 4 other books at a little library. Have I even finished a book in the past week or 2? No.
Howdy, cutie pie.
Howdy.
So I'm just gonna hang out while you continue to film. Go. Don't mind me, just pretend I'm not here.
Have I finished a book even this past week, possibly month? No, but so here's the thing. I got those 2 books and I got this amazing planner, trying to be more put together when it comes to this aspect of things and actually plan things out. I got this amazing planner. It's really cute. I'm obsessed with it. It's fun. It's funky fresh. I got it from Marshall's for like $8, dude. How do you say no to that? So that put me in a pause. I was holding this book. I was ready to walk out with it. And I said, Taylor, what if we made a whole video about it? And that's why I'm telling you this. So I'm going to make a whole vlog where I get Fourth Wing, I read Fourth Wing, I give you my thoughts and opinions, because the second one is coming out in November. As you just heard me state, I usually don't like second books in series. So I'm worried about it. I'm hoping I'm really gonna like it. Don't cross your fingers though. So that's gonna be fun. Now that we have our list of about 24 books that I want to read this fall, I'm going to try to organize them all in a much cuter, fun way than I have it right here, because this is stressing me out. Let's do this. you can see, Tomato is not in her nook. And ever since I took the door off so it was easier for her to get in, and I added the lights, she refuses to go in it. So I don't know what to do with this now. Okay. Here's the deal. I just moved some of my books around because I think it'd be cute to have like a little TBR section. The only problem is I don't have room in my bookshelves. Tomato hasn't been using her nook. So I'm thinking, what if that becomes my TBR quarters? And then if Tomato decides she wants to start going in there again, I'll move them. I think that's what I'm gonna be doing. I don't know. Well, looky what the cat dragged in. This is what it looks like when you're just head on. You have all of my little books. I'm thinking I might put something here that's decorative to just kind of make it cute. I've got all my bigger books, and then I moved my classics here. Like I said, hello. So that way when you look in and see my bookshelf, it's cute and aesthetic stuff. This is the section that was here, which can be maybe in the summertime more aesthetic. And then this is like my fantasy. And then I've got my classics shelf, and then more just general fiction is kind of in here. This is the bookshelf as it is. And yes, I still have more books that are out and about. These are all the books I'm giving to Kimmy. These are some more of those. I'm thinking maybe I'll decorate this side and then we're good. Oh my gosh, that's cute already. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, that you liked the vibes, and that you're excited. I would love to know some books that are on your fall TBR, so make sure to comment down below. If you liked today's video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see future videos from me, like when I get Fourth Wing. And also make sure to turn on post notifications so you get notified every single time that I post a new video. I'll see you next time.